Hello, it's been a while since I've made this statement, but welcome to another edition of Slammin Synapses. My name's Albert Guerrier. I'll often say my segments are on permanent temporary hiatus because I never really know when I'm going to be doing one again, but decided to throw one of these together. Probably going to try to do these a little bit more often again, but we'll see how time goes. But without further ado, here we go. Hulk Hogan versus Paul Orndorff. Hulk Hogan versus Randy Savage. Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair. Now, this segment isn't going to be about Hulk Hogan, but these were three incidents which I went to a house show and pretty much lost my hearing for a bit. It took me about a good 3 to 5 minutes to regain it, but basically on those nights, the crowd was so hot and screaming and yelling and getting into the action that you could practically blown the roof off the place because of it. Now, what does this have to do with my segment? Well, simply this. With those matches, the way they built them up, they gave you the desire to see the show. Now, when I was there, no one was doing chants, no one was trying to get themselves over, no one was acting fools out of themselves. They were there to see the show at hand. The problem nowadays is that the way things get booked sometimes is that if you're not giving people a show to see, they're going to want to instead be the show. Whereas you'll see people do chants, you'll see people with the goofy signs, you'll see people do the wave. Granted, the wave is not bad, but in the right context, it works wonders. But if you give the crowd a show that they want to see, then they're going to be the show less often. So you want to give them reasons to see the show and not be the show. Now, I know there's a problem whenever you do a TV taping. I've been to quite a few Raw tapings myself, and they lay it out like a television show, which can lead to rather slow periods where nothing's happening. But for the most part, if you book a show that people get interested in and are wanting to see it, they're going to see it. They're going to spend less time with all this other kind of foolishness. Now, NXT, for instance, granted, you will see times where people try to get themselves over. However, that is minimized because they're given a product that they're allowed to get involved in, that they're allowed to enjoy, and it's booked to their intelligence. You get the matches with the women with, like, case in point, Bayley versus Sasha Banks, one of the best women's matches that WWE has put on this year. Why? Because they were given a chance to go out and wrestle, tell a story. It was for the NXT Women's Championship, and basically, it stole that entire show. Why? Because the crowd was given the chance to see the show, because it was booked that way. They didn't do catcalls. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. They got involved in the show because they were given that opportunity to. And that's what's missing on like Raw or SmackDown, is that they do all this other kind of foolishness. They do all this other kind of, it's like they do all this other cookie cutter stuff. Now the problem is when you get too used to doing cookie cutter, it's like, I give you an example. You make your own cookies, right? You put your own love, you put your own desire into it, you put it on the pan. You sometimes wind up with one cookie being smaller than the other, one being larger, but you know what? You have that choice. You have that choice to put more love into it or not as much into it at all. When you have a cookie cutter environment, everything's the same. One's not bigger, one's not smaller. They're all basically looking the same. And when you decide to book that way, then you're not going to give the crowd anything to be interested in because there's nothing there that's any different that stands out. So yeah, if you give a reason for people to see the show instead of be the show, they'll watch. You never have to worry about anybody hijacking a show. You never have to worry about people going into business on their own. You never have to worry about all that. Why? Because you provided a show for them to see. So, just something to keep in mind. Probably going to do another one after this, a little bit more serious, but for Albert Gurrier, this is Slammin Synapses. If you want to drop me a comment, feel free to do so in the comment box below. Or you could drop me an email at agurrier@yahoo.com, or you could find me on Facebook at Albert Gurrier. That's Gourrier. So, thanks for joining me today. Talk to you later. Have a good night, everybody.